Welcome to Your Mic is Hot, the podcast where we speak up, stand out, and build something that fits your life. I'm your host, Julie Eichhoff of the Online School for Voiceover, and I believe that your voice, your story, and your skills are the keys to creating a business that's as unique as you are. And let's dive in. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Your Mic is Hot. This is Julie, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're talking about the power of the small yes. You know, for the longest time when I was building my business, I felt like if my business was going to grow, I needed a really big yes moment with my clients. You know, like I needed to have my course all ready to go and plan a huge launch, hopefully having hundreds of people buy it right away. Or it could be when I was creating my podcast, hoping that I'd have lots of people listen to it overnight, that it would go viral. Or for you, maybe if you're on Instagram, the goal or the hope of suddenly thousands of new followers. And don't get me wrong, these things can happen, and if they do happen, that's great. But the truth is that most growth doesn't look like one big giant win. It looks like a whole bunch of tiny wins, a lot of little yeses that stack on top of each other over time. And that's what really creates momentum. So today, we're going to talk about these small yeses and why they're so important, how to invite them from your audience, and how they actually lead to bigger results that you really want. So what exactly is a small yes? Well, a small yes is exactly what it sounds like. It's a low-effort, low-risk action someone takes to move closer to you and your work. I'm going to repeat that. It's a low-effort, low-risk action that someone takes to move closer to you and whatever it is that you are offering. It's easy, it's quick, it doesn't require a huge leap of faith or a lot of money. All right? You're asking someone to take some interest in you or what you're offering. And you want to do so in a way that doesn't burden them, that makes it easy for them to say, yes, I'm interested. And it can be the littlest thing. It could be simply clicking follow on your Instagram. Or it could be answering a poll in your stories or in a Facebook post. It could be on your website, downloading a free guide that you're offering, or signing up for your newsletter. It could be simply listening to a podcast episode of yours. Even something as simple as just liking a post is a small yes. All of these are micro commitments. Think about how many times you do this when you are doing your doom scrolling. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're whatever, and you like something, or you follow something, or you sign up for a free guide. Those are all tiny little yeses. And if you think about the things that you have agreed to, the yeses that you have committed to, were they easy for you? Was it a simple click? Or was it, they just need my email address? These little tiny easy things that allow someone to say, I'm interested in what you're offering, and I'm willing to take a little step further. They're saying, I'm interested, I want a little bit more, and I trust you a little bit. And that's where you start. Now, why these small yeses are a big deal? The thing about people, and it's you, it's me, it's all of us, is that we don't usually make big decisions out of nowhere. Most people don't go from being a complete stranger to a paying client in a single step. They need time. They need little ways to build trust with you, with your work. It's a lot like dating, if you think about it. You don't go from just swiping right on the app to moving in together on the first day. You might first meet for coffee. You know, that's a short amount of time. It's daylight. It's easy to come and go. Then if it goes well, you might agree to go out for dinner. It's a little bit more of a commitment. Yeah, you might actually dress up. It might take the whole evening. You might be seen out in public by other people. It's more of a commitment. Each one of those small steps builds the trust needed for something bigger. Small yeses are those early coffee dates with your audience. They're how you prove you're consistent, you're valuable, you're real, you care, and you're the best at what you do. And you're someone they can safely invest in. It's the know, like, trust factor. Know, like, and trust is used a lot. When you stop and think about it, you want your potential clients to know, like, and trust you. But to me, those words are so quick and so easy to dismiss. So think about it in this way. I'm going to repeat this. You want to show them that you are valuable to them, that you are a real person, that you care, that you're the best at what you do. That's in essence what know, like, trust is, but this takes it down to a more personal level and your responsibility to them and to your business. Now let's go through some practical examples of small yeses. So I want to be more practical with you. How can you actually build these small yeses into your business? And I know you out there, you have lots of different kinds of businesses. You might be a voice artist. You might have a podcast. You might be a proofreader. You might make art. You might, who knows? Everybody has different businesses. But you can still think along the same lines as how to get these little tiny yeses out of your audience. Number one is simply to offer something that's free but valuable to your people, a free but valuable resource. So instead of immediately asking someone to buy your $500 course or your $500 piece of artwork or whatever it is, what if you offered them a simple free checklist or a guide that solves a very specific problem? So, for example, if you teach people how to podcast, maybe it's a checklist, a PDF that has 5 tools that you use when you record from home. It's genuinely helpful. So you need to think about your people and what do they need and how can you be helpful to them? How can you give them a nugget of that for free? So a free but valuable resource. Number 2, we're going to call this low-lift social media engagement. So we're not asking people to comment on every post and share personal information. It can be little things like a poll where they simply click a button, a quiz, ask people to comment with an emoji, simply liking things. I mean, it seems silly, but when you invite that kind of interaction, it tells the algorithm and the people around you that the people around you are paying attention and you're giving them something valuable because they're interacting with you. So low-lift social media engagement. Get people to like something. Get people to answer a question. It's just that simple. All right, a third practical example could be an introductory offer. Let's say you're a coach, and instead of pitching a 6-month coaching program right away, right out of the gate, how about instead you say, let's do a 1-hour clarity session at a lower price point? So it's a small yes that can build into a long-term client relationship. Asking someone to commit to a 6-month coaching package, that's a big ask. And these people have to have had a lot of experience with you before they're going to agree to that. So do an introductory offer. Let's say, let's meet for 1 hour. Let's see how it goes. And you can do that as well. All right, another suggestion is an email newsletter. Your newsletter itself is a small yes. And if you're consistent over time, people start to see you as a reliable resource of information and support. That's how the small yes of subscribing can eventually lead to the very big yes of buying your product. So email newsletters are great because what you're trading off is your valuable information. You're going to be solving problems and offering help and support, and all they have to give up is their email address. And at any time, they can unsubscribe. So giving up your email address can feel like a big give, but we can all unsubscribe at any time. So that's a fair give and take, and that would be considered a little yes. And then the 5th one, now this one's just a little bit bigger, and it's more of a community invitation. Things like a free Facebook group or a Slack channel, or even encouraging people to just hit reply to one of your emails, respond back to you in person. So this is getting into a little bit more personal interaction if you're in a Facebook group or you're wanting an email reply. So this is a slightly bigger ask. So this could be like little ask part B after you've gotten them to like something or subscribe to your email. It's a small ask, but it really deepens the connection. It helps you move forward. Okay. Now, why do we sometimes overlook these small things? There's a lot of us that get tripped up in believing that we're undervaluing these small steps. We think, gosh, only 10 people signed up for my freebie, or I only got 5 new email subscribers this month. And we lament that only 5 people did this or only 10 people did that. But let me tell you, those 10 people, they matter. And those 5 subscribers, they're real human beings who raised their hand and said, yes, I want to hear more from you. As a practical example, I'm going to tell you about this. I was recently consulting with a home healthcare agency to potentially do some marketing for them. And first, your question may be, why, Julie, why? You already have an online course and voiceover work and a podcast. And yes, I hear you. I had the same questions at 2 a.m. as I was mulling this over. The truth is I love marketing. And the second part is I have a real soft spot in my heart for elder care. I just went through years, and I'm continuing to be in it, of taking care of my aging parents, and had a few years there of really intense burden and stress. And so I've been that person who has needed to research home health care agencies. I'm that person who I was at the hospital. My mom's going to be discharged in 24 hours. They hand you pamphlets and say, pick which home health care agency you want, to help your mom. And you go home and it's midnight and you're tired and you're stressed and you're scared and you don't know what to do. And so you're getting online and you're looking at websites and you're trying to gauge who is going to help take care of my mom. So now I'm going to backtrack. So that's why I have an interest in helping home health care agencies market. And so I'm visiting with this company, and they're telling me that they recently had hired a company to redo their website. They had spent probably a pretty good chunk of change redoing their website. But the owner of the company really wasn't that interested in it. He was not interested in clicks on this and clicks on that. And to me, that broke my heart because I was a click. I was one of those people who clicked on a website. I clicked because I really, really needed their help. I really needed to know who they were, what they offered, and if they could help me. Those little clicks, they matter. 5 clicks, they matter. 10 new subscribers, they matter. All these little yeses, they build into bigger commitments. They're little ripples. They compound. 10 here, 5 there, 20 next month. Over time, you'll have built a community of people who are ready for the bigger yes when the time is right. So how can you invite more small yeses without burning out? Because, we're always building our business around, our own energy levels and our own seasons of life. The key here is to not make this complicated. You don't need 10 funnels or 7 different freebies. Just simply ask yourself this: what's the easiest, simplest way for someone to say yes to me right now? It's got to be easy and simple for someone to say yes. And then, how can I make that even simpler? Okay? You want to offer something of value. You want to help your people. You want to give them a nugget of something, but make it so stinking easy for them to say yes. Don't ask for anything more than maybe a first name and an email address. Ask for just a click or just a one-word reply, something just to get the ball rolling, okay? If you're starting out, maybe focus on just one simple opt-in or freebie. It can be on your website. It could be on your Facebook page, whatever it is. One simple opt-in freebie. Or it could be one low-cost or low-time offer. One regular way you connect with your audience, like a weekly podcast or an email or a post on Instagram. That's it. Keep it light, keep it simple, but keep it helpful. Okay, now let's think about the big picture. When you focus on the small yeses, a few things happen. You take the pressure off yourself to have the big break. You don't have to plan the gigantic launch. Take the pressure off yourself to plan that huge big thing and concentrate on these little small yeses. You start building trust in a way that feels sustainable and real. and you realize that effective growth doesn't have to be flashy. The truth is, businesses built on a foundation of small yeses are often stronger than ones that blew up overnight because they're built on genuine relationships, not just like viral moments. So here's my encouragement for you this week. Instead of chasing one giant yes, think about how you can invite just one small yes, just one. That's how you build momentum. That's how you grow without burning out. And that's how you create a mission-driven business that lasts. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and maybe even invite them to give you a small yes by listening in. All right, until next time, remember, your mic is hot. And just in case, if you have interest in becoming a voice artist, please check out my free mini course, Intro to Voiceovers. You'll find a link to it in the show notes. It's a Q&A session that should help answer all those questions you have going on in your head, wondering how you could make it happen. So find the show notes, check out the link for the free mini course, Intro to Voiceover. Thanks for tuning in to Your Mic is Hot. If today's episode got you thinking, dreaming, or planning, share it with a friend, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Remember, your mic is hot. The world's waiting. Speak up, stand out, and build something that fits your life.